Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Joy of Puzzles. Today I have for you a brand new puzzle called Blazing with Color. Now this puzzle was advertised pretty heavy on my iPad for a couple months during the start of the pandemic, and I eventually said, you know what, it looks pretty easy, I'm going to go buy that one. And it's readily available on Amazon right now. I know a lot of the puzzles I build are old and you really can't get them anymore, but I do have some that are very modern, and this being one of them. So, Blazing with Color, being brand new, was published in 2020 by a company called Hanli Toys. Hanli Toys is part of the Toy Town brand, which was established in China in 2006. Their headquarters are in Hong Kong, and they claim to be, and I'll quote, known for superior quality and innovative jigsaw puzzles, unquote. To the best of my knowledge, this is the only puzzle by that company that I currently own. Maybe it's not true. And I will say that, frankly, it is an example of superior puzzle quality. It was a great puzzle, so we'll get into that. The company is also responsible for producing educational toys and things like that. And under their brand name, they are manufacturers of lots of the Nickelodeon stuff that, if you've got little kids, you're very familiar with Dora the Explorer and that whole brand and genre of toys. So I did include a link to their website if you want to read about them. That'll be in the comments below. The artist is unknown. I don't know how much of an artist they would be for something like this. To me, this is a computer-generated kind of image. It is just a color wheel with lots and lots of hues. Pretty broad spectrum of them, not just the three colors from our primary colors back when we were young. It does have a broad expanse of colors on it. That, of course, makes it actually quite simple to build. So. Strategy. Just like most puzzles that you build, I build, start with the border. A strange thing about this border, this whole puzzle actually, the backside of the puzzle has letters on it, like a giant grid of printed letters instead of plain brown paperboard that you expect and you just know is the standard. So this had a image printed on the other side. What that allowed was for me to build the border actually upside down. The hues blend pretty seamlessly on the outer layer, and making it more challenging than it probably should have been. I don't know. Maybe shouldn't say that. It was just challenging. I actually found it easier to flip all the pieces over for the border and then just match up the printed image on the back, which was letters, which gave me the orientation of every piece. So I built the border upside down, flipped it over, and then continued the puzzle in the more traditional sense. This puzzle is 1,000 pieces. The total build time was less than 4 hours, 3 3/4 hours, and my son helped me for the first half of it, and I think he was actually maybe a little disappointed that I finished it without him, because it's a pretty enjoyable puzzle. So let's jump into the review. I actually have a lot of good things to say about this puzzle, and would suggest that if you like puzzles at all, this is a pretty nice one to get for lots of reasons. The first is the puzzle material quality, the paperboard. On a scale of 1 to 5, I give this one a 4. It was above average. And someday I may look back on this and say, really, it should have been a 5. And I think the big difference is there is actually an image printed on both sides. I think that vastly improved the pieces and the quality and how they all fit together. It was pretty interesting that it worked out that way. I mean, that it's manufactured that way. It's the first time I've seen that in this kind of puzzle. I should say I've never seen it before. I have a puzzle in my collection with an image on both sides intentionally to make it difficult to build, but this is not that. So the quality of the material is above average, definitely a 4. Like I said, maybe a 5. I'll have to I'll look back on this in a year and say, yep, that should have been a 5. But add to that comes to our next category, the puzzle cut quality. Also above average, easily a 4. These pieces fit together cleanly. Again, very little doubt. So yes, in theory, you could occasionally fit a piece in the wrong spot based on the cut, but that's natural. I mean, if you put a tiny little tab into the giant slot that's in the other piece, it's going to fit, right? But it was so obvious that it was in the wrong spot that it really had nothing to do with the cut quality for those types of little mistakes that happened. So definitely a 4. Difficulty. And I thought I would never do this for a 1,000-piece puzzle, but I'm going to give this a 1. This might be the easiest puzzle I have built in years, and which is strange to say for a 1,000-piece puzzle. Because of the nature of the image, the hues, you pretty much could pick a piece and just go, oh, it goes here, even though there was nothing built around it. I also find that in general, round puzzles are easier than rectangular puzzles, because if you look closely at the pieces, there's a curvature. And if you have an eye for it, what you'll spot is that based on the radius of the curve, you can also guesstimate how far the piece is out from the center towards the outer edge. Combine that, in this case, with the lighting and the hue of the puzzle, it made this really easy. So I am going to give this a 1. It's probably the simplest puzzle I've built in a long time. Brings us to our last category, frameability. Yeah, I mean, it's a color wheel, right? So I'm going to give it a 3. I can understand how you would see this as a picture somewhere, certainly in a classroom back in middle school in art class. This would be a great poster to have hanging there, and if your youngster is into art, has an artistic eye, this might be a poster that would appeal to them. It would look nice hanging in their room and kind of, I don't know, maybe inspire them in some ways. So I'll give it a 3 for frameability, but I mean, me personally, no, it's not a poster I would hang. It is a pretty puzzle, no doubt about it. It's certainly eye-catching, like a rainbow, but it's still a 3. Overall, I'm going to give this one overall a 4. I will definitely build this puzzle again. As a matter of fact, my video after this will be me building this puzzle upside down. As I found, ironically, these people have built a puzzle that is both the best puzzle in the world if you're colorblind and the worst puzzle in the world if you're colorblind. So if you're colorblind, this would be brutal. Go and try to build this thing. I don't even know where you would begin. Except for the fact that if you flip every piece over, because there's an image on the other side and it's black and white and is letters broken up into sectors and quadrants, it's very buildable as a reversed puzzle. So this puzzle is both perfect for people with perfect vision and people who are completely colorblind. You can both take this home and be very satisfied. So overall, I'm going to give this a 4. I definitely enjoyed it, and I'll build this one again, and one I would loan out to folks and say, hey, if you want to build an enjoyable puzzle, and with less than a 4-hour build time for a 1,000-piece puzzle, that's quick. It was very, very enjoyable. Again, would definitely build this one again. So, what else can I say about it? I would say go out and buy it. Pick this up at Amazon for a couple bucks and put this on your dining room table. And even though it has an age limit, I think they list 12 and up just because of its size. Yeah, this is straightforward enough that even younger members of your family, if they have any puzzle experience, can participate in the build. Enjoy it. So as we come here to the end of the video, as I pluck away at the last colors and the hue, I'm going to say if you like the puzzle, if you like my narrative and you found it interesting, go ahead and click the like button. I appreciate everyone out there who's taking the time to sit through these videos and leaving me comments. So once again, thank you very much, and hope you enjoyed.